so time starts now. Alright, so this is Bioshock 2. We start off with the best weapon in the game, the drill. I gotta walk through some stuff. So the whole quest of Bioshock 2 is to get your little sister back, because she was taken from you by her biological mother. It's a very weird tale, but yeah, there you go. Whole plot summarized in a couple sentences. Pick up a diary, because like Bioshock 1, we do diary skips. Just gonna run past these enemies. And we skipped that. Alright, we got our first plasmid, boom. Already faster.
Daddy was sleeping for such a long time, and Eleanor has missed you. Find her and you'll be all better. Daddy!
Alright, so now we have our first plasmid electrobolt, which we can use, and we will. So unlike Bioshock 1, where you use very few plasmids and very few weapons, this game actually uses quite a few, because there's different skips that basically each plasmid is useful for one skip. So I just have to kind of wait here for a second. Okay.
At last, a signal. You, who are bringing this dead city to life, listen. My name, it is Tannenbaum.
So you're going to hear a lot of diaries in the beginning and somewhat near the end, but for quite a bit of the game it's going to be really quiet, so we're going to do a little frame-perfect trick on every level that's going to plug out the entire audio system and basically skip everything for us.
To the Rapture family.
This is the first time we're really pushed into a fight with a big sister. You don't need to fight, you just have to wait until a timer goes off in the background. You can't technically die in this. The big sister technically can't die in this, so you just kind of wait around. There's no reason to fight at all. I'm just going to chill right here by the store. Alright, so timer went off, and we can keep running.
This is Dr. Sophia Lamb with a message for the people.
So if you paid attention in Bioshock 1, they use a lot of the exact same props and materials. This table, which you can't really make out because it's really blurry, is also seen in the Little Sister orphanage in Olympus Heights. Cool little reference. It's a sick Easter egg. Top 10 Easter eggs you need to know about Bioshock 2.
In that suit,
Welcome to this playthrough.
cannot harm you. This is good. But rapture is the death of many great men. Alone, you will not last long. You can still reach the train station. Find me there.
So we got some sharks floating around. A plane that may or may not relate back to a different Easter egg. That's number 4 on the list, by the way. Keep your eyes peeled. There's many more. So this rock right here is also in Bioshock 1. The exact same rock. I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but that's number 7 on the list. So the big sister just kind of follows us through the different maps and floats away all the time. So I mentioned having to do frame perfect tricks to skip the audio. The first one's going to be right as we get into the next level. We want to do it as quickly into the level as we possibly can, that way we skip more. So I'm going to quick save and then hopefully get it first try. We'll see. Alright. Nope. A little too late. A little too early. It's not an easy one. There we go. Alright, that's difficult to do. So you know you get the skip when the diaries pop up and then go away immediately, as you'll see here in just a second. So it's going to pop up in the lower right hand corner and go away. So we don't want to hear that. Some diaries will actually still play out, although the dialogue in the bottom right goes away. That's because they are not skippable. They're actually like programmed into the area, which you will see up here. No, that happens all the time. That is not something I've never seen before. And we have to do it about 4 more times in the run. Now we're just kind of locked in this room.
I know you. That symbol on your hand marks you a dead man. 10 years, Subject Delta, since I watched you put a gun to your head and pull the trigger. But take heart. Out of your pain, paradise was born. I don't know how you survived, but your suffering is over now. These men will ease your burden. Please understand that like all I have done, this is an act of love.
Alright, so we're going to stand right here on this wall and face this way. Because the direction that you face and where you stand puts you in a different spot in the water, and this comes out to be the fastest by like half a second. 6 strats. This is also the same fire from Bioshock 1. If you can tell me what level that fire is from, you win a Rapture dollar. Like 1 whole Rapture dollar. Alright, so we got some money. Money is actually pretty important in this run, because we get a lot of drill fuel. And you'll see why we get drill fuel later on. It's pretty cool. Makes the run way more fun and way more interesting than the other 2 Bioshocks.
Father, it's me, Eleanor. I know you're awake in there. I can feel it. Mother won't be able to toy with you like that ever again. This plasmid is for you. If I'm right, you can use it now. Please, find me.
Alright, so telekinesis is not nearly as useful and as broken as it was in Bioshock 1, which is unfortunate. We still use it quite often. And it lets us do a pretty cool skip. But that's not until much later, so we're just gonna keep walking through and picking some stuff up. Can you win a BT speedrun shirt? Yes, if you go to my Spreadshirt and buy a shirt, you may or may not win it for free. Probably not, but hey, give it a try. The explosives are pretty fast at killing things. It's pretty nice. This elevator, like most elevators in video games, is used for story purposes, trying to advance the plot. But we skipped all the dialogue, so the game's just not going to give us anything, and we sit here in a little bit of silence. You can kind of just like smack stuff if you want. Make some grunting noises. Karate chop the air. Some more waiting. Once we get past this, things pick up pretty heavily. Get some cool stuff going on. There is a fight we have to do right at the end of this mission that's, if you do it right, is really quickly. It uses a lot of explosives and knowing where enemies spawn. See how well that goes. That guy outside was going super fast. He's speedrunning the streets. So we need to kill this guy. You're dead. Alright. So that's pretty much how all the fights from here on are going to go. Is just as quickly as you can take out the enemy. Which later on becomes a real fun part.
She is using the new little ones for something. And I have returned to rescue them. If I do not, more children will die for my sins. And the rapture nightmare, it will repeat forever. Now, we must talk.
So Tenenbaum's messages can't be skipped, but what plays on the TV does, because it's not programmed the same way for some unknown reason. As you can probably tell, the Bioshock devs weren't the best. Okay. So first group is going to spawn over on this side. Still one in there. Okay. Second group spawns over here. And the third group spawns wherever. Back over here, looks like. And that should be it. Except for this guy who's still alive for some unknown reason. Alright, that was pretty good. To the amusement park. Everybody's favorite place. So anytime I do this run for marathons or just casually on my stream nowadays, because I have the record, nobody is close, I like to point out this amusement park is probably the worst amusement park ever designed. There's only one ride in the whole thing, and it's terrible.
Whoa there. Now better apply the brakes.
So we can't skip this dialogue message, because we can't quick save, but we can do the next one, right as we get out of the train car. It's another frame-perfect dealio. A little too late on that one. A little too early. There's no really good way of setting these up or practicing, because you quick save in a different spot every time. And you could do it from the level select, but it's going to take way longer. Alright, there we go. That was pretty bad, to be honest. So we need to go collect our ticket to get into the amusement park. Even though there's not a line, and I don't really have money to buy a ticket. We are going to get, I think, a total of 3 upgrades at this point in the route. Here we're going to get drill efficiency. It's not going to play a part in the run until about 2 missions later. Or actually, the next mission after this. But we don't have a chance to get another upgrade, so we're going to skip the next one. And we really need it when we get to the next mission, so we have to get it now. We used to get drill damage here, just because we fight a lot of things. Here's the machine gun, my favorite weapon in the game, besides the drill. I mean, who doesn't love the drill? Splicers really just don't care. They're just waiting to get an amusement park. You may have seen while we're taking photos, we can just pick up sports boosts because the game likes us more. It's like, here, have it. You can go fast now. Do some sick parkour to get around these obstacles. Alright, cool. We just saved just like 2 seconds. Skip this diary, pick up that. Alright. And time for a Big Daddy fight. Who doesn't love these? Big Daddies in this run are a complete joke, and the Alpha Daddies, which are supposed to be the more advanced and hardcore version, are just as easy, if not easier. Should probably heal. So we want to get him in the water so we can zap him and drill. Thanks for a quick fight, and the little sister is ours. Alright. We're gonna get the escort mission out of the way early in this run, because they're so much fun, and every game should have one.
There will be time to pick Sophia's brain a bit.
We need the little sister to gather Adam for us because we can't do it ourselves. So, here, she can play with the dead body for a little bit. So we basically just have to protect her while she does this. Oh, hello. Where'd you come from? There's an inconsistent way to get these splicers aggroed on you, and then you hide in a corner where they can't hit you. And by doing that, you won't spawn into enemies for the next fight, but it's really inconsistent and not worthwhile, which is why nobody goes for it. So we're going to pick her up, and we got one more body to go. Time to go on the only ride in the park. Journey to the surface. We can actually just run right through this bathysphere. It doesn't actually exist. So we're going to pick up one of these barrels. There's another one you can pick up, but this is faster. So we're gonna put this barrel out here just in case we need it. Also gonna grab the other one so I can kill this lady. Once again, we just have to kind of wait here for a little bit. Now's a good time to run an ad or plug a sponsor. Wait, do we have any of those for the marathon? Like a gun company or I don't know, anybody? Oh, I'm just getting this in from Shadex. He's telling me that we're sponsored by btspeedruns.com, where you can get all of your sexy shirts of your choice. They are not on sale at the moment, but you can still get them. They are available, like 15 bucks. Alright, that splicer really needs to die. So check out the turret, which is not a big deal because we're done here.
Are we gonna be together again, Daddy?
So we're gonna pick up the barrel, and hopefully it doesn't explode on the way to where we need to go. There is another one at the very far end, but it costs an extra second or two to get.
On the surface, the scientist invests, an artist strives to frame his
So this is where the barrel would explode if it's going to, and they didn't shoot it. Awesome. Good RNG so far. Okay. So we're going to need this barrel to do a death warp, but first we need to get rid of the little sister, because we don't want her seeing this. This is way too gruesome for a little kid to see. So we're going to drop this down the stairs. Shock the water, take some damage. Get that on the way back. So we're actually going to harvest her because we need the extra atom. It takes a little bit longer to harvest her for the animation. But due to the fact that we actually really need the atom, we don't really have an option. So vending machines will never actually kill you, they just take you down to 1 heart, or 1 HP, whatever. And dying in the corner warps us back to the main lobby. Skips a little walking, it's pretty nice. So, now we're here and we can get incinerate, which is awesome. Setting things on fire is the greatest pleasure in life. You have to be really careful not to buy the other 2 things you can buy in there, because, again, you don't have room for error when it comes to plasmids. The ones we buy and the ones we routed for are, at this point, all we need, and you can't do skips without them, so. My health is in a really good spot, because I'm going to need a death warp once I get out here. But I still have to run past some enemies, so I don't want to be too far. So the door to the train, it's locked. Oh, that's perfect. Whenever you spawn in the big sister. But because we death warp there, we get past the locked door. The big sister is still going to follow us, and we still need to kill her. So just add them on her. Surprise, surprise. But it's faster to do it in this little train station where she won't run away. You can also get stuck on this wall for some unknown reason. The main technique we're going to use for a little bit is just to use Electrobolt and then hit him with the drill, because that gives us a little extra damage and it stuns him in place. Later on we'll use Winter Blast and grenades, which is a one-shot kill. It's good. Popper's Drop is by far my favorite place in this run. It's where we get Drill Dash. It's also where a really cool skip happens. And just the whole run kind of changes from this point onward. It's what separates this run from Bioshock 1 and Bioshock Infinite. I mean, not having terrible RNG is what separates it from Bioshock Infinite, but...
Attention. Subject Delta is now trapped in Porter's Drop.
At this point we have a lot of money, and we will continue to have a lot of money, so we're just going to buy all the hacks instead of manually doing them. Nope, don't want the rock.
Lab's trying to box us in, kid. This is a goddamn city-wide lockdown.
A little
To keep
extra
the
money.
train moving, you need the security override key from the local government.
So here we're going to
Grace
buy
Holloway.
a plasmid
She
slot.
kicked me out of my own hope.
There it is. We're going to buy Decoy, Winter Blasts, get rid of Telekinesis because we don't need it at the moment, and then we're going to buy Drill Lurker.
Tell down here.
Drill Lurker gives us a little bit of extra damage with the drill, which helps in fights.
That key.
And the other plasmids will help keep this brute in the area. Typically he's supposed to run off, and you have to go chase him down to get what you need. But if we put that there, open the door, I go upstairs, and when we're walking across the little bridge, we're going to freeze them in place, which is going to keep them in the area. Then we can take some photos, do some cool stuff, and get Drill Dash here instead of in like 5 minutes. Alright. This one's bad. So I'm going to waste my Eve so I get a full bar, because we're going to pretty much need it at this point.
That thing's a mirror.
So I'm going to take a picture of him. I'm going to hit him with Incinerate to melt the ice I just shot at him, and then hit him with Electric Bolt and smack him with the drill, which is enough points in the research meter. Just Drill Dash.
Let's give it a dry run, shall we?
And this. Could have Drill Dashed again, but that's okay. So there's some dialogue that plays out before you can break down this debris. But if you just go ahead and kill yourself, you kind of skip through that. So,
well, sport, I guess Gracie's home. But that big love
hitting this
just
chair.
dropped half
Come
my
on.
damn hotel in your
Give me the
way.
damage.
Now to break through that
And
mess,
there.
I expect you're gonna have to work out.
So we're going to respawn right here in the main lobby. But we're going to be able to break down this debris a little bit faster.
Since you already laid your hands on a genetic research camera, this next part will be easier.
We still really want to watch our health because we need to do another death warp once we get to the top of this area.
Camera spits out a prize once in a while as you learn what makes a splicer tick. Now, find one of those big old brutes and take them out on film.
So we're going to climb our way up. There is a slightly faster skip you can do, but it is not consistent by any means, and it is very likely to kill you if you do it wrong. So.
A regular junior shuttlebug, and it appears you've picked up a new trick.
Been doing all this drill dashing, so we need to get some fuel.
Now get back to the Sinclair
Here.
Deluxe and just bust through that mess blocking your way.
Try to get past the brute. He's not going to let us. Okay, go this way. He's not a nice man. He's still hitting me.
Get on up there and persuade her to give you that override key.
Freeze both these things. Take some damage.
Gracie's room
Okay.
is just up ahead. Now, she's been
It's
sending
faster
all
to use
manner of
the
unkind
camera
your
to take
way,
damage
so
than it is
I'm not
fire.
particular as to how you take that
So
key
any
away
damage I
from
need to
her.
take, I do it there instead.
His grudge against you was based on a misunderstanding.
So she's going to get mad at us for doing something that we probably didn't even do. It was real fun. And then she just forgives us for walking away.
But baby Eleanor disappeared. And then one day, I see her walking with you, looking wrong. And when I tried to hold her, you knocked me down. Broke my jaw. So I'm ready, baby snatcher. Come on in and finish the job.
So we're going to pick up the key, which is what we need to leave the train station, and then just use the chair to do a death warp.
Your call, friend. Gracie's unarmed for what it's worth.
Unlike the first game, you can't just use Incinerate on the floor and then take damage that away. Because for whatever reason, they decided to make Incinerate not stick to floors or walls.
For Grace,
Instead, you have to use it on an item.
Andrew Ryan
Keep it burning.
was most unkind.
It's pretty annoying,
She
but
spoke against
it's not too
him in
bad.
song, and he had her blacklisted. It left her penniless. But in the family, she has found hope, a reason to draw breath. Ask yourself, Delta, do you
Made it back to the
deserve
train, and we can continue onward. Normally, messing up the dialogue and the audio doesn't transfer between levels. If you go to a new level, it'll go away. Or if you load a new save and then go back, it'll also wipe it. But the last area, for whatever reason, glitches out at the beginning of this section. You'll see Sinclair's message pop up, but he won't be there. He won't say anything. No idea why that happens. No one's been able to figure it out yet. It's a weird bug. This is a very fight-intensive section of the game, and having setups really helps out, makes it a little bit quicker. It's still a lot of fighting compared to the other games. This Atom I like to pick up just because it's along the way. You don't need it. We get plenty of Atom from killing Big Daddies later on. So, if you want to skip it, it is optional. We're going to have to pick up some more drill fuel before continuing. And luckily there's a little vending machine right at the start here. One very annoying feature of drill dashing is if there's an enemy in front of you, you will auto lock onto them when you dash. So you have to be kind of picky about where you aim and when you use it. These few splicers don't need to die, but it's really nice not to have them in the area. We're going to take a few more pictures so that we get just a couple more little perks here. I'm going to use Winter Blast on this one, get enough points out of him. This is going to give us flat out increase movement speed, which is nice. I'm going to use Incinerate on this one. The third one that spawns is in a random location, and then the rest will spawn from here. So there's the third one. And fourth one. Where are you over here? These guys are really annoying if they don't die. Okay. The ones that spawn here, if you just take a picture, Electrovolt, and then hit with the drill, they are down for the count. There's going to be 3 more, if my math is correct. And this should be the last one. Okay, so we're going to do a little jump over to here, which is where get it. You can get to the Brute Splicer a little bit faster. It's okay. Basically, that door doesn't exist. You can just walk right through it. More drill dashing. There's actually a quote-unquote boss of this area. He's not really a boss, so to speak, but they call him that, so I guess technically he is. And he's guarding the water pump, which is very useful for us.
Through Adam, our souls shall pass into her holy blood.
They made drill dashing a 2-button combination that you have to do every time, and sometimes it just doesn't want to work. So here we're going to get our drill damage, which is going to help. Like I said, before we used to get it back in Ryan's Amusement. And we used to get, I believe it was the machine gun upgrade here. We still need a few more points. We should get it off this splicer, which we did. If not, you can get it off the boss, because he's the same type of splicer. He spawns in on a look-based trigger, which is real fun. Time for the boss. We're going to take out his little pet, and then we're going to freeze him. If I can find the right spot, he has a pretty quick kill. That was pretty bad. If you can hit him right in the top of the head, you can pretty much kill him in, I think, 9 shots or so.
One thing though.
Time for a
Once
death
you
warp.
transfer the suction to Dionysus Park, we've got a tiny window of opportunity to get you inside. I don't have much air left, but I'll hang in there. You make sure you're ready before you throw that switch.
Just gets us outside the room, which was right there. The door's locked for quite a while,
Got the power on you. You're stuck
for
till the
whatever reason.
backups kick in. I'll help you hold
Typically,
it back.
this area is
Just
flooded
roll.
with water, which you'll see pop in right about here.
Your sin itself
Might be the next.
marches
Yep,
to
there we go.
beast.
If you're slower, it pops in earlier.
Legion. Eleanor Lamb is our salvation. You shall not rob us of our final reward.
So going through all those fights and killing the boss lets us
Closing in on Simon's
basically flood the
underground
area
temple.
and get all the water out of
Now get
Dionysus
down
Park,
pumping
which is where we
stations
need to
up
go.
above and drain out the park here. Oxygen's running thin in this train car, and I'd sure hate to see our partnership cut short.
Due to death warping and getting out of that area early, and it is messing up like the whole physics of the area, the game still thinks the little chamber up here is technically not underwater, so we can pull out our weapons and get our drill back, and you can just drill dash out here and keep it on you. Alright, so I'm going to try a little trick here. All right.
Is my
Drill dashing into that corner gives you enough speed that it boosts you upwards, and you can just jump over the wall instead of going around it.
vying for control.
It's pretty
of a
fun to
dead
do.
man's
Alright,
dream.
there we go.
The city is nothing. Rapture must die so that Eleanor may rise from it.
Dionysus Park does have a frame-perfect diary skip like we've done before, but we don't do it off the start because the start is based off of movement instead of time, and for whatever reason it doesn't want to work on the first radio message. Just going to go through
Dionysus Park was owned by Sophia
a
Lamb.
little section here first.
Sort of a private retreat for
And then we'll set it
social
up.
experiments. One night it flooded, killing all her guests. Paper said it was cult-related. Come on up to the train station. Let's rendezvous.
Attention! Subject Delta has drained and infiltrated Dionysus Park. His death is our rebirth. The life of the people's daughter is in your hands.
Also, if you don't get your full drill dash in and you smack a wall, you just get stunned for a little bit. So I'm just got a little bit of ammo, not a whole lot. So I'm going to put on a decoy so they don't bother me while I set up this trick. Okay. So from here, we're going to wait until the door opens and then quick save. Alright. Now we're going to try for the frame perfect trick. Let's see if we can get it quickly. A little too early. Still too early. This is one of the more recent ones that were added into the run. Alright, there we go. Not bad, not great. It works. The whole goal of this area is to basically free or harvest 3 little sisters, which means you have to kill 3 big daddies. So we're going to do a lot of killing, but we're going to do it pretty quick. And, of course, drill dashing everywhere. There was a power-up machine back there, but we don't really need upgrades at this point in the run. We just need plasmids, which we'll actually buy a few in just a second. Trigger that. And then we're going to death warp back to the beginning, because that's where a big daddy is. This used to be one of the last big daddies we fought in the area out of the 3. But with that death warp, it's actually faster to do this one now. There's actually 2 big daddies when you enter this area. Only one of them has a little sister. The second one can go get a little sister. We're going to harvest her for Adam. The only problem is it takes way too long, and he has very little health. So you have to kill all the splicers in the area and make sure he doesn't die, and then wait about a minute for him to go get a little sister. Instead, we'll just go ahead and... So, yeah, he's dead over here. Typically, you would hear the dialogue being spoken, but because we did the diary skip, she just doesn't talk. Unfortunately, the cutscene is still programmed to play, so it will. If you actually Alt-tab out of these and then tab back in, it speeds up to catch up for the time it lost. Unfortunately, real time doesn't save anything. So here we're going to buy Scout and get rid of Incinerate, and buy Wonder Blast 2. Electrobolt is still our go-to plasmid for fighting. In just a little bit, Wonder Blast 3 will become that instead. We're going to buy a few Evipos. So I'm not going to harvest the second level sister, because we don't need that much Atom, now that we have those plasmids. And it's faster to go ahead and save her, since there is a air vent along the way. So I just went for a drill dash there, which I shouldn't have because it gets cut off by the cutscene. So I lose all that fuel and I don't gain the speed or the distance from it. So when I come out of the cutscene, I'm going to be walking again. Just buy a little bit more. Anytime you're by a vending machine, you might as well just buy as much fuel as you can. Because walking instead of dashing is really slow. It's not something you want to do. If you can help it. We're going to shock that so we can get the supplies in it later on. First we need to take out this big daddy. This will be the third and final. Unfortunately, there's also a lot of splicers in this area that like to come and fight you. Luckily, that did not happen. You also spawn in a big sister after you kill that big daddy, which is not nice. She just tries to fight you the entire time. So we're going to try to get back to the train as quickly as possible so we don't have to deal with her. And then after we get past this level, she despawns, so should be fine. There used to be a really bad chance of having a game crash at the train. And that was because we had to manually skip diaries before. Now that we have the all-in-one frame-perfect diary skips, that doesn't happen anymore, so the scary moment of the run got taken out. So we need the proxy mines, and then the other garbage is kind of helpful. Chairs in the way. Onward to Fontaine Futuristics, which is actually a two-part area, and you do a diary skip in the beginning, which, if you mess it up, which I did in practice the other day, can actually make the run go worse. It makes diary skipping slower. If you don't do it at all, you waste a lot of time, so not only do I need to do it right, I need to not mess it up entirely. The good thing is if I do mess it up, I can just leave the area and come back.
This is it,
do it again.
End of the line. If I'm right, Eleanor's mama's using Adam to force all Rapture's minds and memories into the poor girl. Lamb reckons it'll make that child a saint. Now,
So the tonic I
Eleanor's
just picked
in a
up
deep
gives us extra damage for any research that we've done. So anytime I've taken pictures of splicers or big daddies, we get extra damage against those enemies now. Makes fighting easier.
1967. Hello.
Which at this point, fighting being easier doesn't really need to exist.
Gilbert Alexander.
It's only going to
By
get
the time
easier.
you hear this, I will be clinically insane. I am recording these diaries in advance as a last-ditch effort to assist anyone I might threaten in dealing with me.
So I'm going to do this trick in a two-part save. I'm going to save once when the door goes down, and I'm going to save again after I walk through the door. For whatever reason, this makes it a little bit easier for me to get the trick. I don't know why. It always works. Not getting it first try, just getting it quicker. There we go. Alright. And it's not glitched out, which is really nice. Now I don't have to worry. So I have to do another little small fight sequence. So I'm going to put down some trap rivets here. Put some down there. Reload hopefully pretty quick here. There we go. Oh, that was wrong place. That one, yep, he's already dead. Now that we press this button, the game's going to say, hey, you can't go in here yet. And we can kind of just mess around. But because we picked up those proxy mines, I'm going to go ahead and place them down. Who knows what's going to pop up. Be a whole nother fight or something. At this point, we can go ahead and buy drill fuel. A little bit of ammo. Doesn't hurt. Pick up some supplies, and then come over here to the gene bank. Click on the wrong thing, of course. So we're going to get rid of Electrobolt for telekinesis. As I mentioned earlier, Electrobolt was our main resource for fights. At this point, fighting becomes trivial, so we can go back to telekinesis, which is going to help us skip a certain section. So we can actually shoot him with trap rivets and kind of make him glow. It'll stick on him forever. So here comes the first Alpha Daddy we have to fight. So big and scary. Ah! Oh no, he's dead. Yeah, that's pretty much how all the fights are going to go from this point on.
Status updated. Status active. Access granted.
Just waiting for our little chance to get into Fontaine Futuristics. More supplies, give me that. Oh, some money, sweet. That's what I needed. There is a Vita chamber here, but it doesn't activate until you open up this door. So it's not viable for death warping, unfortunately. We will actually death warp back to this Vita chamber in just a moment. We need to do some other stuff first. So he's going to shut down this room, which is the whole point of this area, is to get access back to it by destroying some jammers. And most of them are supposed to be hidden behind fights. So that's one of them. We're going to pick up some more proxy mines, which are going to be helpful for later fights. too. This alpha guy is going to jump in the way, but he's not scared. You can just run past him. Also, really loud noises. So we use the camera to get down on low health, and then we use a grenade to kill ourselves. Because we don't have Incinerate anymore. So telekinesis can come in handy for once. So this part can go pretty weird if splicers decide to track me through a wall. Let's hope they don't do that so I can set up this trick. So I need this on its side, which is pretty much like that. We're going to stick one of these signs on top of it. Then we're going to grab another one, place it right about here. And this one we actually need to fall over. Good. Okay, that's actually going to stand back up. That's not... Okay. So by doing that, we can just kind of jump on all three of them. Get up on this, and shoot the last one here. My aim is not garbage. Wow. Alright, that wasn't too bad. Splicers did not track me, and we got it quickly, so... There's that. There's this whole big arena fight you have to go through if you do that last one normally. So if you remember, I bought Scout way back in DIONYSUS. This is one of the few tricks you can do with it, which is pretty cool. If you go into Scout mode and activate the lever at the same time, the game doesn't know what to do when it puts you back into the body, so you keep the drill, which allows you to just drill dash through the water, which you're not supposed to be able to do. And that's not the only thing we can do with it, but for this level, that's about it. So we flip these to turn the lights back on, which is going to restart the area, and we can see stuff. Hooray! Okay. So while I have some time, I'm going to go ahead and hack this. Hacking it makes the prices lower, so we can buy drill fuel at a cheaper price. Finally buy Winter Blast 3.
I see you out there, Delta. You want to be top man? You want to sit in the big chair?
So placed on the proxy mine, because there's going to be 2 alpha daddies that spawn. There's one. I want to take pictures, which makes the fight a little easier. Taking damage there sets up a death warp. We'll do in just a minute. So I actually used the wrong grenade on the Big Daddy. I was supposed to use a regular one instead of a heat-seeking rocket, but that's okay. Just gonna take us back to the main entrance, which gets us out of another fight. Doesn't take too long, but there's a little cutscene that goes along with it. So we're collecting these flowers for some reason I honestly can't remember. Yeah, I just don't remember. Has something to do with the casual playthrough of the area. So I have to jump down here to get the 4th flower. That's hidden back in one of the rooms. Alright, there we go. So now we can go give Jill the flowers. So if you death warp in this area, usually it takes you back into a little basement where all the cells are. But if you die right by that turret, it brings you back here, just a little faster. So I'm going to go ahead and buy more fuel. We're about to leave this area. There is a little fight. It's not even really worth mentioning at this point. Go ahead and take that. So I mentioned fights with Alpha Daddies being stupidly easy at this point. I'm going to wait until one runs up here. There he is. So we use Winter Blast 3 and then hit him with a grenade. He's dead. If you walk too far in this direction, you spawn in another Alpha Daddy, which is something you don't want to do. I stand up here so that enemies are naturally passed to me. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. That Big Daddy really does not care about what's going on. But if you happen to hit him, he'll get aggro, and he's just a real nuisance to deal with. So, generally don't want to do that. I think he's mad at me. Yep, okay, so he's mad at me. So I'm just gonna keep freezing him and putting down a decoy, which will keep him busy for a little while. You can use Scout to get your drill in this area. There's not really a reason because you don't need to dash anywhere. You have to wait for this rock to come down and then you get your drill back anyways. So now we're going to Persephone, which is where our little sister is. Her name's Eleanor. She's actually not that little anymore. Typically there's supposed to be the end-all be-all boss battle, which is just 2 big sisters. But we can do a little workaround and just bypass them.
Persephone, we're finally here. Find Eleanor, son, and fast. Her mama's got all Rapture dying to keep you two apart.
We still need some supplies for the very last area, which is Enter Persephone, which comes after this one. So we're gonna pick up some more stuff. Mostly just ammo and money. There's another power-up machine right there, but we also just don't need anything from it, so I'm gonna bypass it.
Any idea what my daughter has given you? As I watch you now, I envy your ignorance.
So I mentioned Scout having another ability. If you get in this corner, you scout and return the body instantly. You activate the trigger inside the room, which skips fighting the two sisters. Now we just kind of wait. So it's going to pull us through into the room and into the cutscene. And there's Eleanor. And a really creepy looking bear. It scares me.
She's in. Use the controls to break the quarantine seal.
So she found a way to restore you in body and mind.
So it's just trying to catch us on the plot that we entirely skip by getting rid of all the diary messages in the game. They're showing us characters that we really didn't meet or
What are
talk
you
to.
waiting for, kid?
So depending on what you did with the little sisters, whether you saved them or harvested, it kind of starts changing the path from here on. How Eleanor's dialogue plays out and the final cutscene all depends on what you do with them. How you interact with the three characters you meet along the way determines one section, and then the little sisters determine the last part.
There is one detail of your mutual bond she failed to account for. Your body was designed to lapse into a coma when her heart ceases to beat. Eleanor, forgive me.
So now we get to play through one of the coolest parts of the game. It's the perspective of the little sisters, something you never get to see anywhere else. It gives you a pretty cool looking view of Rapture.
Until he expires.
Father, it's me, Eleanor. I'm so sorry. Mother stopped my heart long enough to sever our bond. Staying near me won't stop you from dying now. Or worse. But I can still help you escape. This little sister's brought you something that will allow you to take control of her.
Alright, now we are a little sister.
I know this feels a bit strange, Father, but now you can see through her eyes and tell her where to go. This is how I brought you back without Mother.
So the devs of the game thought it was really cool to let you go through an air vent like this.
Get you out of here.
And they thought, hey, why not just have him go through it once? Let's have him go through it twice because it's that cool looking. Only they didn't spread it out. So you have to do it twice immediately, and then you never do it again.
Find a way to slip in there. You're in. There should be a lever in here somewhere.
Attention.
And it will unlock the cells.
has been sighted within the facility. He will attempt to reach Subject Delta.
What Mother did to me left me very weak, or I would do this part myself.
So this is how the little sisters interpret how Rapture looks, which is actually really depressing when you look at some of the items as they change back and forth. These Big Daddy dolls, which are adorable by the way, you'll see in just a little bit, they're actually just a pile of rocks.
There's a piece of the suit in here, Father. Find the rest and bring them back to me.
So as you pick up the pieces, it gives you a small glimpse of what it actually looks like.
Father, stuck in this fever dream. Mother kept me sedated in order to perfect my mind with Adam. To her, the ideal child is a genius, serving the common good without questioning it. You have saved me from that.
So there's a Big Daddy doll in this corner, which is actually kind of broken up. But once we pick this up, turn around, it's just a pile of rocks, and there's nothing else there.
In rapture, I feel it all. When you were with the little ones, they trusted you as their father.
So if you're looking for a present, and you have a daughter, get her a pile of rocks.
Mother was right about one thing. I have been watching you, Father. Studying the way you have treated others. And now I know who I am.
So Eleanor said this great enlightenment, which she won't stop talking about. We have to get back to her and make her stop talking as quickly as possible.
Just as you have.
Alright.
My new sister.
Shut up. We have all her pieces, and now she's a big sister. And goes completely AWOL and kills everything.
What I'm about to do is perfectly natural. That is much better. Ready now. These suits always did remind me of you, Father. The skin of a born survivor. And now I'm ready to fight at your side. Mother doesn't stand a chance.
She gives us another plasmid, which is to summon her.
Call me to your side in a
Pick up
fight.
the diary because it's going to help. And the drill fuel. Just like the drill dash. So if Eleanor is a nice daughter, she's going to take care of the splicers for us while we kill off the brutes over here. And she didn't. Okay. That was still pretty quick. Not bad.
Subject Delta, I know you can hear me. You have stolen my life's work, and with it, my only daughter.
I made a
But Rapture is
mention of doing manual diary skips, which is something I haven't done to this point.
And now,
there's only really one diary we need to skip in this whole area, which is one coming up. If we quick save, quick load, and play a message on top of it, it'll skip it. Which
going to drop this building into the...
This used to be the old method of skipping every diary in the game. It was really annoying and tedious. Having to quick save, quick load, and play another diary for every single radio in the game. What's going on in the storyline? Things happen, daughter's rebelling, she kills everybody at the end. So End of Persephone is the last area. We still have to do one diary skip. This one's based on movement and not timing, so it should be easier. I say that, but it typically is not. Hey, we got it first try. Okay. For whatever reason, and I don't think anybody knows why, it's shitty programming. I got it. The music in this area, you cannot turn down the volume, and it gets extremely loud during the fight sequences. So if I'm quiet and I'm not talking during this section, it's just the music's really loud and not a whole lot's going on. There's 3 wings we have to go through, and there's a fight in every single one. The first one's just an Alpha Daddy, which we've already seen how to kill. The second one, you actually don't spawn any enemies, which I'll get to in just a moment. The third one, you just pretty much set down a few proxy mines and you're good. our way. That's the code. Alright, so now just to get back to the main area. That was one fight done. Depending on where those enemies are, they're not going to attack you, but they just get in the way, so you can drill dash or not. Typically they're in the way, so you can't do it. Because we hacked this earlier, we got a cheaper discount, buy some more fuel, and we're on our way. So the music's still bugged out, but I'll try to explain this over top of it. Basically, if you look at the area where the enemies spawn, they won't show up, which is really nice. The first Alpha Daddy will, because he's already spawned in. If we can get him into this main room, even somewhere we can see him. Eleanor should finish him off. So we're going to stand up here and kind of just look into this hole. So that one did spawn. That's annoying. And the game's like, hey, nobody's spawning, you must beat them all. There you go, boom. Alright, so we have one area left in the game. There's a little fling you can do in this section, but it takes a long time to set up with the splicers firing at you and getting the right positioning. So it doesn't save as much time as it's really worth. And it is very inconsistent as well. Basically, I would just skip going through all these drill dashes. Here's another Alpha Daddy that really does not care that we're here. He's also trapped me in a corner, which is brilliant. What a guy. I'm just going to jump behind these rocks instead of walking all the way around. Okay. So this bird's going to spawn, and he's rather annoying, so...
I will offer no insight. Every word I speak, you already know.
I'm gonna place some proxy mines down. Not there. In the room, please. Place one on these steps, and then I'm gonna take out the Alpha Daddy with the last one, wherever the fuck he just went. Oh, he's back here. Okay. There's one Splesser running around. There's one that shows face. Use that to take damage, and then this death warps us back. It's gonna put us back in the main room of the area, which is where we finish off the game with a really nice boss fight.
I'm stepping inside the blast tank, Father. Come up to the glass once you're ready for me to begin.
So we're gonna use the same trick we used on the second fight to semi-stop enemies from spawning in. There's actually 4 points where they spawn in, so getting it just right is a little tricky. We'll see. This seems like a good setup. I'm also going to pull out Decoy because this fight's on a timer. It's not on how many enemies you kill. So whether I spawn them in or not, which it doesn't look like they're going to, it's nice. I'm just going to drop down a Decoy and let them fight that for however long it takes. She should be... Oh, okay. I didn't even start the damn thing. Alright, there we go. You can't just walk up to it, you have to look upwards as well, for some unknown reason. I've seen people lose runs to that. It's a very weird feature.
Here they come, Father! Hold them off until I can bring it to a boil.
So, yeah, it sounds like I didn't get the one in the right-hand corner, which spawns in this Alpha Daddy. It's fine. Yeah, and so that's the main boss fight of the game, so that's time.